Hey guys, the Biafra Liberation Army has announced a significant development in its ongoing struggle against the Nigerian government, claiming to have neutralized a substantial number of Nigerian forces in ØDSH state. This declaration made on December 9, 2024, through a social media post by the Defense Headquarters of Biafra Liberation Force reflects the escalating tensions and persistent conflicts in the southeast region. The Biafra Liberation Army, a parliamentary group advocating for the independence of Biafra, continues to engage in armed resistance against what it perceived as the occupation and oppression of the southeastern region of Nigeria by federal force. The recent operation in ØDSH state is being portrayed as a major victory for the group, signaling their resistance and capacity to challenge the authority of the Nigerian government in the contested region. The conflict between the Biafra movement and the Nigerian government has deep historical roots, tracing back to the Nigerian Civil War from 1967 to 1970, often referred to as a Biafran War. That war, sparked by Southeastern region's declaration of independence as the Republic of Biafra, resulted in immense human suffering with millions of lives lost to violence, starvation, and disease through the war, though the war ended over 5 decades ago. The grievances that fueled it, including perceived marginalization, economic exploitation, and cultural suppression, remains unresolved. In recent years, renewed calls for Biafran independence have gained momentum, driven by groups such as the Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB) and its armed wing, the Biafra Liberation Army. These movements argue that the region continues to face systematic neglect and repression, necessitating a push for self-determination. Their efforts, however, have been met with a heavy-handed response from the Nigerian government, which viewed such activities as a threat to the nation's sovereignty and security. The latest claim by the Biafra Liberation Army underscores the validity of the situation. ØDSH state, like other parts of the southeastern region, has witnessed recurring clashes between separatist groups and Nigerian security forces. These confrontations have resulted in significant casualties on both sides, as well as collateral damage to civil lives and property. The human cost of the conflict continues to raise concerns among local and international observers, with the calls for dialogue and peaceful resolution growing louder. While the Biafra Liberation Army's announcement has sparked reactions among supporters of the Biafra cause, it has also drawn criticism from those who advocate for non-violent approaches to self-determination. Some argue that the use of force only exacerbates the suffering of the civilian population and undermines the moral legitimacy of the movement. Others contend that armed resistance is a necessary response to what they described as the Nigerian government's oppressive tactics, including militarization, mass arrests, extrajudicial killings in the region. The Nigerian government, for its part, has constantly rejected the notion of Biafra independence, emphasizing the indivisibility of the Nigerian state. Successive administrations have adopted a combination of military and political strategies to suppress separatist agitations, including deploying security force to the southeast, proscribing pro-Biafran groups, and targeting their leaders for persecution. However, critics argue that these measures have largely failed to address the root causes of the unrest and may have even deepened the sense of alienation among the region's population. The international community has largely taken a conscious stance on the Biafra issue, balancing respect for Nigerian sovereignty with concerns about human rights abuses in the region, while some human rights organizations and diaspora groups have voiced support for the Biafra struggle. Major global powers have refrained from endorsing the movement demands for independence. Instead, they have urged all parties to engage in consultative dialogue to resolve the underlying issues peacefully. The Biafra Army's claim of a successful operation in Old Ebonyi State comes at a critical time as the region continues to grapple with economic challenges, political instability, and social unrest. The impact of the ongoing conflict on local communities cannot be understated. These placements, loss of livelihood, and trauma are just some of the consequences faced by civilians caught in the crossfire. Humanitarian organizations operating in the region have repeatedly called for greater attention to the plight of affected populations and measures to protect civilians from harm. So guys, what's your take on this? Things are not getting better in the southeast. The Nigerian government have decided to, not to give them any space. Share your thoughts below the comment section. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Share this video, let it go viral. Let Nigerians understand what is happening today